Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to try and skip some of the political noise and go straight to the foundations of Islamic scholarship to tackle a concept that really drives a lot of global discussion. Governance.
A huge topic.
It is.
Yeah.
We're diving into the heart of the matter when it comes to the rightly guided caliphate, the Khilafah Rashida.
Right.
Because you hear so many groups and thinkers advocating for it, but they often seem deeply divided on what it fundamentally is.
They are.
So our mission today is to try and solve a central riddle, really. Is the caliphate the ultimate goal, the destination itself, or is it just the vehicle to get there?
And that distinction is everything. It's the difference between the final objective, the Gaia, and, the intermediate tool, the wasila.
That's the core of it.
It really is. We're looking at this from a strictly Sharia, legal and religious perspective.
Right.
I mean, if you confuse the car with the destination, you might just spend all your time and money polishing the car and completely forget to drive.
That analogy, that really hits the nail on the head, because the sources seem to emphasize that any successful application, it all comes down to a successful conceptualization. The tasawwur.
Right.
If you get the basic concept wrong, all the effort in the world, however sincere it is, it's just going to fail.
Exactly. The foundational scholarly principle here is that the ruling on a thing is a branch of its tasawwur.
Okay, can you break that down?
It's like engineering. Before you can build a stable bridge, you need a perfect conceptual understanding.
Of everything involved.
Of everything. The physics, the materials, what the bridge is even for.
So we're talking about drawing up the complete blueprint first, the non-negotiable blueprint.
Yes. If you try to build this structure, this Dar al-Islam, without understanding its essence, its mahiyya,
The relationship between ruler and ruled.
the duties of all parties,
Yeah.
you're just doomed. You're doomed to perpetual weakness.
Right.
And this is a powerful point the sources stress, because you hear a lot of people today claiming the details are, vague or hazy.
Yeah, that it's not all spelled out.
But the classical tradition just couldn't disagree more. I mean, we have entire genres of literature on this.
Like what?
Well, look at a work like Ibn Taymiyyah's As-Siyasat al-Sharia. These scholars spent centuries detailing the complete legal structure.
So it's not vague at all.
Not at all. The duties of the ruler, the conditions for his appointment, the rights of the community. It's exhaustively detailed.
Okay, let's start with the absolute basics then. If the blueprint is so clear, give us the definition. What is Dar al-Islam, the abode of Islam? What makes it different?
Simply put, Dar al-Islam is the territory where the rule of God's law is supreme.
Supreme in what sense?
Here's the crucial point. This rule has to penetrate and regulate all affairs. We're not just talking about private prayer. We mean the law must govern the political system, the economy, social life.
Everything.
Everything. Education, healthcare, foreign policy. Every single public mechanism has to be managed by the clear judgments from the Qur'an and the Sunnah.
That sounds like what people call a religious state. But when you hear that phrase today, I think people picture, chaos. Like the finance minister is chosen for piety, not for his economic knowledge.
And that's a critical clarification to make. A religious state in this context does not mean theologians are running the hospitals.
Okay.
It just means the source of the law is divine and it's universally enforced. The administration, however, demands specialized experts.
So you'd still have an economist.
You bring in highly trained economists to manage the economy, but they have to operate within the divine boundaries. For instance, the universal ban on interest, on riba.
I see.
You use skilled physicians for health policy, but they have to observe the ethical lines drawn by the law. The religious structure sets the constitution, you could say, and the specialists execute their jobs within that framework.
That distinction really does clarify why the initial concept is so important. Let's get into governance itself. The idea of shura, consultation, it's central. But the sources are clear, this isn't modern democracy.
Not at all.
So where's the fundamental contradiction?
The difference is, it's radical. Modern democracy is built on the idea that sovereignty rests with humans.
The will of the people.
The will of the people. The majority can vote to legislate whatever they want. They can make something legal today and illegal tomorrow. The sources are absolutely clear. This is like claiming a prohibited form of rububiyah.
Claiming lordship.
Yes, claiming a form of lordship which belongs only to God.
So if God alone is the ultimate legislator, how do humans even participate? How can shura work without taking away that divine sovereignty?
Because shura isn't a tool for legislation. It's a mechanism for applying divine law and for selecting the people best fit to enforce it. And it's highly restrictive.
It's not universal suffrage.
Far from it.
Okay, highly restrictive. That's where it gets complex. Can you lay out those criteria? What makes it so different from just a simple vote?
First, the ruler himself has to meet these non-negotiable conditions. He has to be a Muslim, sound in mind, physically capable. The Qurayshi lineage is cited as an initial condition based on prophetic tradition, though there's scholarly discussion about waiving it if no suitable person is available.
And the people doing the consulting, the voters, so to speak.
Well, the pool of consultants is restricted only to the Muslim alad, the just Muslim.
And what does that mean in practice?
It means individuals who have proven their righteousness, their deep understanding of the law. You can't just consult anyone off the street.
And what about the scope of that consultation? You're not going to ask, say, a farmer about foreign policy.
Absolutely not. The consultation has to be restricted to experts in that specific field. If you're choosing a health minister, you consult physicians. For economic policy, you consult economists who understand the framework.
And crucially,
non-Muslims, Christians, secularists, whoever, they don't participate in consultation about the internal affairs of the Muslim community.
And just for completeness, the sources do touch on the participation of women. How is that handled?
The sources, when they discuss who can offer counsel or testimony, often connect it to the context of shahada, or judicial testimony.
Okay.
And based on that interpretation and citing certain prophetic sayings about a deficiency in intellect and religion, the source material concludes that a woman's opinion in certain legal or selection matters is equal to half that of a man's.
But what about expertise?
Well, if she's an expert, say, a physician, her expertise is, of course, consulted within her field, just like a male expert.
That gives us a really necessary, if complex structural backdrop. But now let's get to the question that defines this whole thing. If this structure, the caliphate, is successfully established, what is it for?
Right.
Is the structure itself the end goal, the Gaia?
And the definitive answer from the sources is a clear no.
No.
The caliphate, the political structure, it's just a magnificent tool. It's a wasila. It's the most effective means to achieve a much higher ultimate objective.
And that objective is?
It's detailed very clearly in the Qur'an, Surah Al-Hajj, verse 41. Those who, if we establish them in the land, will establish prayer, give zakah, enjoin good, and forbid evil.
This is where it gets really interesting, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The establishment in the land, the political win, is presented as just a condition. It's a prerequisite for the real duties that have to follow.
Precisely. The establishment of the state is the vehicle. It's the car. The destination, the Gaia, is the total and pure submission of people to God alone. Tawhid.
And that submission shows itself through
the consistent implementation of prayer, the fair enforcement of zakat, and, commanding good and forbidding evil across the entire society. The caliphate is the platform for Tawhid.
This really shifts the focus, doesn't it?
That does.
It means if you're only focused on bringing back the political structure but not the substance, not the prayer, the zakat, the ethics, you've missed the entire point.
Absolutely. And the implication for the individual Muslim, even today, is profound.
How so?
Well, what if the wasila, the caliphate, what if it can't be achieved right now? Does the absence of the tool mean you can just ignore the end goal?
And the answer is no.
The answer is a clear no. We have to look at the early Muslims in Mecca. They were living in an oppressive pre-Islamic structure. They were weak. They were persecuted.
Right.
Yet their duty to establish Tawhid, the pure worship of God, in themselves and their families, that was paramount. It was non-negotiable. They corrected their tasawwur, their concept, and their practice first.
So the absence of a Dar al-Islam is never an excuse for spiritual or ethical laziness.
Yeah.
The individual duty is always there.
Correct. And what's more, the sources suggest it's a reciprocal relationship. The strong, genuine worship of God, Tawhid, isn't just a result of getting political power.
It's also a cause.
It's a primary cause for God granting that victory and stability in the first place. You have to lay the spiritual foundation before you can even think about raising the political walls.
So if we pull all of this together, what's the one key takeaway for you, the listener, trying to make sense of the path forward for Islamic communities?
I think the key takeaway is just conceptual clarity. We've confirmed that the caliphate is strictly a political tool, a wasila. It's designed to achieve the ultimate Gaia, establishing God's total worship, Tawhid, and his law.
And any effort that puts the political form above that spiritual content
is fundamentally flawed from the start.
And that just underscores the incredible importance of the individual's effort. Correcting your personal faith, your behavior, your conceptual understanding, that toss all war.
That's the foundation.
It's the necessary, immovable foundation that any successful, lasting Islamic political structure has to be built on.
Which leaves you with an important question to think about. If true success in removing oppressive rule requires a return to the prescribed religious path, should one keep spending massive communal energy on methods known to be non-effective, like engaging with foreign powers or following models like infidel democracy, as the sources might put it? Or should that effort be overwhelmingly devoted to revitalizing the true, uncompromised path drawn from the divine sources? Understanding the wasila versus the Gaia should really reshape that focus entirely. That's something definitely worth mulling over.